We are back and black in the building. Shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation doing what they need to do to survive. Roll call. Shout out to everybody in Vegas. Shout out to everybody all over the United States of America. Shawnee, Philly in the building. Erica, Florida, aka Florida. Jay Youngblood, Texas. David, Georgia in the building. Shout out to the homegirl Jerica. Also shout out to the homegirl Molina, North Carolina, aka North Kakalaka. And shout out to all those people that has been affected by the hurricanes that's been taking place. Where FEMA definitely ain't doing their damn job. Let's get it. Man, did Jesus come back? Damn. Man, we are back. This is going to be a chill one today. I just wanted to ask y'all the question. Tasha, I seen that. 32 days. Am I lying? Go look at that speech. She sound horrible. Do y'all really think that Trump can win? Because it's looking like it. Y'all remember when he went against Hillary and everybody for sure thought Hillary was going to wash him? Y'all remember that? And he kicked her ass so bad, that bitch didn't even want to come outside and tell everybody, thank you for supporting. She was so humiliated and embarrassed. I think the Dems are scrambling. I'm going to say what I already originally said. They should have picked a real presidential candidate and just let her continue being the vice president. Clearly, she doesn't know how to speak. She doesn't know how to think on the fly. And it seems like everything is aligning against her. The hurricanes, the FEMA, the people not having power, the $750 loans you got to pay back to FEMA, all these taxes, the high interest rates, groceries are at an all-time high, utilities at an all-time high, housing prices are at an all-time high, where the average American citizen, they got to damn near buy a fucking 2-bedroom, 1-bath for fucking $500,000 because everything is so at an all-time high. It looks like things are just not working in her favor. It's so funny when you hear a lot of Democrats, you talk to people and they're like, man, when I talk to people, they're like, oh my God, my family is just so convinced that Kamala is the way to go and Donald Trump is a racist. I feel like black Christianity and black folk buying into black Christianity first of all, they ain't read Dr. Claude Anderson's Black Labor Right Wealth. So if they ain't read those books, you have to just bear with them and keep it moving. And for the elderly, just let them continue to think that that's what they're supposed to be voting for. They think the Democrats, they've been taught and socialized that Democrats is the way to go. But we are a part of this new generation of like, no, we're not just voting for people just to be voting. No, we're not doing that. These are the type of discussions we would have at my mom's house. Because my mom was very big into like politics. But my mom was a protagonist and an antagonist. She knew both sides. She just wouldn't admit it. For real. My mom would say stuff like, you know, Hillary should win and Hillary was going to run. This was like 2013, 2012. Hillary going to win. I'm like, Ma. Because when we look, Las Vegas, Nevada is a good old boy state. It's a Republican state. I worked with one of the governor's grandsons. And my mom knew that, and my mom loved the governor. She loved the governor. She was like, and I quote, my mom would be like, this is a good old boy town. This is a Republican town, so we don't want all that bullshit and all these immigrants and all this other shit. And then up there talking about I'ma support Hillary. I'd be like, Ma, you just got done telling me you love Kenny Gwynn, who was the governor, who basically did a lot of good things for Nevada. He had the Millennium Scholarship. He was very anti-immigrant. You know what I'm saying? Very anti-immigrant. Very, 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 no immigrants. This is for the American people. I think that Millennium Scholarship, I think it was only for citizens. You couldn't get it if you wasn't a citizen of the United States of America Incorporated. So, and my mom would be flip-flopping. Oh, well, I'm going to support Hillary. We need a woman in office. I'm like, Mom, you need to stop that bullshit. You know them Democrats ain't shit. They don't like niggas just as much as Republicans don't like niggas. And then, shut up, nigga. She'd get mad because I'd be like, no. We would have these discussions, and then my sisters would be like Hillary and put the middle finger up. Hillary for president and put their middle finger up. Man, we used to have these discussions all the time. They'd be mad at me because I'm like, no. Fuck a Democrat. And I remember at the time, I would be like, nah, They want all these immigrants over here. These are ones where, then I used to be like, I get tired of competing with them for a job. I didn't know a lot because I hadn't read Dr. Claude Anderson's Black Labor, White Wealth or Powernomics yet. I just knew that Vegas was becoming very much an immigrant state. And I would say between 2008 and 2012, them 4 years, Jesus Christ. Black folk took a beating as far as battling with immigrants because in Las Vegas, Nevada, I can only use them. Las Vegas, Nevada, they're just white black folk. I remember North Las Vegas, Northtown wasn't nothing but white folk and black people. It was a sprinkle of Latinos and a sprinkle of Asians, but it was whites and blacks. West Side wasn't nothing but whites and blacks. Predominantly black. And then all of a sudden, I say within a 7 to 8 year span, it went to Immigrant Central. And I'm like, damn, dog, like, it became ridiculous. And, there's no diss to no immigrants because, when you say the word immigrant, people will automatically assume you're talking about Latino. I'm talking about immigrants, period. I don't care if you're African or not. You start seeing a lot of immigrants. Even in the casinos, you start seeing a lot of Africans, blackjack dealers, and Indian blackjack dealers. And my mom will get pissed off about that shit. Like, when I was working, we didn't have to deal with that. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck is up that? And a lot of Ethiopian, and no, this is the Ethiopians and all other shit, but this is the United States of America Incorporated. And I get so sick of people coming here, giving you their story of their country, and they want to put their country above everybody else, but you in the United States of America. So any type of argument you have is null and void. And you're like, well, what do you mean, Warren, is null and void? It's null and void because, in my personal opinion, how you gonna be for your country, but you ran or fled from your country to come here to make a better living for yourself? Then you should stay in your country, build up your homeland. And I think that's the issue that I was having before I read. That's why Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics resonated with me so much, because like I was already feeling that way. You know what I mean? I was already feeling that way. Even when I worked at the Y, I worked at the YMCA. It was just whites and blacks for the most part. Yeah, sprinkle. I remember I worked for this Latino sister. She was horrible. She was horrible. horrible. Treated the black folk horrible. She just fake, phony, and horrible. She just was horrible. Her Latino boyfriend, he was horrible. It just rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, how is this Mexican over all these black people? I just wasn't feeling that shit. I just wasn't. I never was feeling that. And a lot of times when you work under these immigrants, they have a tendency to want to go harder on you than the dominant society because they are an anti-black racist in training. They want to get their fucking feathers in their cap for dogging out a black person. I worked in a situation like that. I worked for another Latino sister. She was just awful for no reason. Just being awful. I just was like, man, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I got the fuck up out of there. I was like, her boss was, foundational black American, but just the way she was treating me, I smelt it. I was like, yeah, this is a fake, phony bitch. I feel like Trump could win. Like really win by a landslide because I think a lot of people are starting to wake up and understand exactly how shit works. And I think it's more Republicans out there than we think. Like I said, we have to look at the data and we got to look at what's going on. Kamala ain't been to nobody's border. Ain't nobody going to the border. That's the thing. Nobody's going to the border. Nobody's saying, okay, shut the fucking border down, bro. This is a problem. We got too many American people complaining. This is the thing that I'm talking about, no matter if it's Democrat or Republican. Why is it when there's these natural disasters, we become performative, but nobody's doing anything? To me, what do you think should happen? You know what I think should happen? Kamala should take her punk ass out there to the FEMA headquarters and say, we need to do something. Like, now. And if I win and y'all motherfuckers ain't doing shit, all you motherfuckers are fired. Like, for real. I'm going to be handing you your walking papers. So, let's get this going now. Straight up. These people out here suffering, and this is on my watch, and I'm trying to win. And how the fuck am I going to win and be a good leader, and we can't even help our own people here? And you should go out there and Kamala's a dummy. She should go out there and make a public speech and be like, I do apologize to the American people for us sending all this money to the Ukraine when our citizens here need our help. And I will do my best in my next 4 years to make sure we reroute that money and allocate it to the people of the United States of America where they don't have to suffer and get loans from FEMA where that money could be money in their pocket. Instead of $750, the American people who have been paying taxes should be getting $7,000. They've had to drop everything. This is what I mean. That's why I'm like, this shit is crazy. It's just crazy. And then when she's like, oh, well, the last 4 years. Well, you've been in there the last 4 years. What the fuck? In the last 4 years, we've seen the interest rates go to an all-time high. It's up to 7%. It was like 7.2% interest rate. Who the fuck gonna buy a house with 7.2% interest rate? How you gonna buy a car? Cars are already $30,000. That's why I don't like that electric bullshit. Because the electric bullshit just makes it even more expensive. No, give me a gasoline power. You know what's so funny? I'm gonna break this down. You know how they trying to edge us in going away from gasoline? What you bet they're gonna edge us? They're trying to force us to go to electric, and then they ass is gonna be still driving gasoline cars. Because the last time I checked, the president, period, they ride in Cadillacs, and they not electric Cadillacs either. They're gasoline Cadillacs. When you look at government, as far as local law enforcement, do y'all see them riding around in electric cars? No, they're riding around in gas-powered cars, gasoline. If electric was so powerful, they would be shutting down gasoline stations every goddamn where. So don't let these people fool you. And I don't give a motherfucker about no Elon Musk and his raggedy ass Teslas and shit that everybody buying into. Go ahead. You can go in there and get in one of them self-driven ones, and when they crash and burn up in flames because of all them lithium batteries, them Duracell batteries, them cars, good luck. I guess y'all didn't learn enough from Leave the World Behind, huh? Y'all didn't learn enough from Leave the World Behind. Y'all didn't learn enough about having a gasoline car, huh? Man. You better pay attention and understand what the fuck is going on. And I really think he probably could win. He probably gonna win. If He's after her 32 days speech and the FEMA response. Oh my God, it's probably a wrap, and I think she know it. She's probably wishing she would have never accepted the nominee. She probably wishes they would have pushed somebody else and she could have just kept being the VP. She's a horrible speaker. That's why they haven't had another debate. She's probably going to get annihilated. It's probably going to be a debacle. And your average person that's a Democratic fan, they're going to get mad at you because you have conservative views. Most black people are conservative. If they weren't, then Jay-Z would give all his money away to all his predecessors, right? If he wasn't conservative, he's conservative in his thinking. He's probably more conservative than everybody thinks. Remember that. Don't just sit up here going through this shit because they've been telling us to vote. Like, I got people in my family too. Oh, well, we Democrat. Okay, no, you're Democrat. I'm looking at things Republican. I don't believe in rising tides lift all bills. Rising tide lift all bills for black Americans, foundational black Americans, not for immigrants and tellers and people that's coming over here leeching off of us and then talking shit about us when they get around the dominant society. Yeah, I don't like that shit. That's why you can always tell the difference between an African and a regular foundational black American. Because the foundational black American that are in the age groups of 50 and below and has read Powernomics, Black Labor, White Wealth, they have a way different understanding. And they understand that. Man. It looks like he can win. And watch all these Democrats. They gonna turn on black folk. Oh, you guys are the reason why. And then everything that bad happens. See, this, man. Let me tell you something. Whoever the goddamn president is, you're going to have to work your ass off. You're going to have to work hard. Ain't no president going to lift no bills for nobody. I'm waiting for the president to say, we need to cut these interest rates so we can start putting America to work and getting them to buy houses. Y'all notice I've been saying this shit for the last 2 years. Housing, interest rates, housing, interest rates, housing. Y'all can never say I haven't been talking about that shit. Warren, why? Because the more black folk buy housing, the more we can control our communities. And we can control our communities by our voting locally and putting the right political people in power so they are doing what's necessary for foundational black Americans. But when you have less than 2% of foundational black Americans owning homes in different communities, that becomes a problem. 32 days. Oh man, it's looking like you're gonna win. No wonder the Republicans was like, oh, this bitch is a dumb bitch. Especially Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter was like, it just looks like she doesn't even know what she's talking about. You know what I mean? I will give Ann Coulter this. She did tell those immigrants, you guys are leeching off of foundational black Americans. Civil rights is for foundational black Americans. Civil rights are not for immigrants or LGBTQ. It's for black people. Black Americans who built the country for free. It isn't for everyone else. An enemy of our enemy is my friend. Remember that. I don't agree with a lot of the shit that Ann Coulter say or Republicans say. But when it comes to them immigrants and it comes to shit going to foundational black Americans, I'm all on board for it because that's what we deserve. And we shouldn't be competing with any other racial group when we built this country for free without repayment. Don't let nobody tell you, well, slavery was so long ago. The first thing you say was, what happened? The Holocaust was so long ago too, but that was a painful event that the Jewish community went through. We feel bad for them, and we celebrate that they were able to make it through that. And we respect them, and we give them props because they made it through that Holocaust. And that was a very diabolical thing that Hitler did to the Jewish community. So we celebrate that they were able to make that out. Say it just like that. And they were able to become successful as a people. But why you guys can't do it? Because of the system of racism, white supremacy. That's why. And I'm done. Guilty, nigga. 32 days. I'm out, y'all. Peace. 32 days.